Hello and welcome to my top 10 40k and Age of Sigmar builds for 2024. So I set up this channel for some hobby stuff and all things geeky, and I've got quite a few hobbies that cover building, painting and custom stuff. So I will try and make the effort to do a video a week. This is a new channel. Some will be 40k or AOS stuff, maybe action figures, although the focus is on Gunpla as that's my big love at the moment. So this video is going to have a mix of Age of Sigmar and 40k models, and it's a chance to review the kits as well as my half-assed paint jobs. Similar to my top 10 video for Gunpla, not all these kits came out in 2024, it's just when I built and paint them. So going to start off at number 10 with my Ogre Moor Tribe Spearhead. These are a really old kit and they belong to Games Workshop fantasy franchise Age of Sigmar. They cost between 70 and 85 quid, and it's a mini army for Spearhead games. These are the cannibalistic ogres of AOS, kind of like the Hills of Eyes meets White Van Man. I've gone for a bit of an Asterix vibe with this colour scheme, and as with any of this top 10, if there's more than one model, I'm going to try and separate out sections for each unit, just to give each one a bit of love. For instance, these units have cannons that are just filled with junk instead of cannonballs. Here is the chief unit of the Spearhead starter set. It's a great model and it's surprisingly big. I'm really happy with how the paint scheme came out on this one. And here is a massive cannon pulled by a boar on a cart. It's a fantastic model, really big, loads of presents on the tabletop. And then here's some more boars, but cavalry. Again, I really like the fur on these. And number 9, we've got my Orc trucks. So the main focus of my 40k models are orcs. It's just something I really love about orcs and how British they are and how much you can kit bash and play with their builds. So this truck kit is pretty old and it was a bit of a nightmare to put together. And this other model is the Sisters of Battle Rhino that I just kit bashed to be an orky truck. I needed it for a game. The orc that's hanging out the back of it is actually a fantasy model and not a 40k one, but you can just kit bash orcs. Moving on to number 8, and these are my Stormcast Eternal Dragons. So I picked them up from the AOS magazine. They're like a tenner a dragon, whereas from GW, as you can see, that's 80 quid for a pair. I made these bases, that's out of Milliput and Sprue. And the other base is a piece of Warcry terrain that I just had lying around that I used. Overall, I really love these dragons. I really like the design. I love how they look, and they're so much fun to paint. The colour schemes are quite good. I've even got another 3 that I'm ready to start. My 7th place pick is the Gloomspite Gitz army. It's a bit of a cheat. It's a bit more than the Spearhead, but I love this army. They've got just so much energy, and they're basically drug-addled little goblins. These Boingrot Bounders, just the energy in them throwing their spiky balls around is brilliant. The rock trolls here are just so much fun to paint, and I'm quite proud of the paint job on them. These are the 2 chiefs from the army. The main one there is Scragrot the Loon King, which is a really good model, and again you can get it for a tenner from that AOS magazine. And here's all my little dudes. They took a little while to paint, but they're not that bad. They're certainly not as bad as a pick later on in this video. This is the terrain piece, the Loon Shrine. So in at number 6 is another Orc 40k kit. It's another vehicle, and it's the Battle Wagon, which is massive compared to the trucks. I went for an Optimus Prime colour scheme in case it isn't obvious. I also badly magnetised all the parts so I could run it in its different forms. I love this kit. It's just super fun to paint and assemble. I've put some pirate heads on the models that I got from a friend. And it's also the only vehicle that can get the almighty Ghazghkull Fracker up the board. Speaking of Gaz, he's my number 5 pick for the year. It's a fantastic model. It's absolutely huge, and he's basically the big boss of the orcs in 40k. He's a good unit to use, but I just love the design, and he's brilliant fun. Here's Makari, his little sidekick, and you can tell that I really don't like Space Marines. Here he's chopped one up, and just look at him. He's a brilliant model. And number 4 is the Skaventide, well, the Skaven half of Skaventide, which is the new AOS box set. and scathing of these demonic rats. They're such a cool design. I really like the way they look. Here's a rat riding a giant rat. It's the chief of this box set. Here is some of the artillery stuff. They've got these guns and snipers, so that's kind of their play mechanic. And here these rat ogres. They're kind of like Terminator rats. What a great design. I really like all the crystals in their arms and stuff, and I'm quite proud how this one's come out. Here's a couple of the chiefs. They've got really good designs. I love the little rats scurrying out of the bell there. And then here's the clown rats. There's 40 of these. These were what I was referring to when I said some can be quite hard work. Painting those was difficult. And number 3 on my list is one of my favourite models, probably the one I've played with the most. Dave the Gatebreaker. So he's one of the Sons of Behemat Gargant range. And he's just such a cool model. It was really fun to paint and to try getting those fleshy skin tones. And he's basically the Attack on Titan type giant for this. That gibbet was made from McDonald's coffee stirrers. He's a fantastic model. I really love this, and he's well worthy of being my number 3. For anyone that plays AOS, you might have noticed I like destruction armies, and I've got to have Kragnos. From the moment I saw him, I thought he looks like a Lionel from Zelda, so I have to get that and paint it up. And I just love the design, like the base and just all the armour and stuff. I think I did a good job on the paint scheme compared to my other models. And he's just such a fantastic model. I love him, number 2. And here's my number 1 pick. And this is my Imperial Knights, which I did with an Orky vibe. So I kit bashed them to look like orc looted knights. There's tons of orcs all dotted around them. And you can see quite a few Gunpla effects. That's actually a beam saber gun like effect you use to shoot through that Space Marine. I'm not sure what gun that is, but that's off of one of my Gunpla kits. And I went a little bit hog wild with all the kit bashing on this. There's just tons of extra guns on this one, for instance. Nice effect on the back panel. And Sparta kicking this Space Marine, because why not? I thought it was funny. And here's the big boy, the actual Imperial Knight. And again, beaten up on Space Marines. I had loads of spares lying around, so I just decided to abuse them. I'm really proud of this. That's an aerial beam saber effect from the Full Mechanics aerial, and that's an MG Rick Don bazooka. So as you can see, there's tons of extra stuff chucked onto this, and I really enjoyed making it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that run through of my favourite GW builds and paint jobs over 2024, and those of you that watch my videos for Gunpla are still around. You might even be tempted to pick up a GW kit or two. But next time, as you can see, back to Gunpla. Thanks for watching.